Asante sana Kenya. I want to be very brief. I've been with CMD because it's the right thing to do. The matter of CMD, therefore multi-party democracy in Kenya, is a constitutional matter. Nobody can interfere with the basic freedoms that are guaranteed under our constitution. And the one important thing is integrity of our multi-party democracy. And that is what CMD stands for. So I want to thank our colleagues from Europe and wherever who have stood with us, the Oslo Center, Amnesty International, and others who have really chosen to stand with the people of this country and to strengthen those democratic gains under our constitution. Comrades, peace. Comrades, peace. We are saying very important things which are of benefit to you. Your president has asked me a question. What is it that we, as the People's Loyal Coalition, what is it that we have to offer as the People's Loyal Coalition to better the lives of not just the comrades but the young people of this country? As I speak to you, over 6 million young Kenyans have no hope. They have no possibility of earning any income. They have gone through our institutions of higher learning and there are no jobs. Even when I was co-chairing the NADCO dialogue, we heard that over 6,000 companies registered in Kenya had chosen to flee into the neighborhood. A lot of them went to Tanzania, others to Uganda, and that meant exporting those Kenyan jobs. And this is why today over 6 million Kenyans are jobless. We can't even sometimes quantify the level of unemployment. And don't you be hoodwinked that you can be taken to Saudi Arabia or to other places to look for jobs when there are no possibilities at all. We will of course send Kenyans those who are qualified because we want to develop international citizens as well within the multilateral arena. The world has now changed, serious change. Now instead of multilateralism, even Europe is beginning to think of nationalism. Look at what has happened in America today, making America great. They are looking inside. So even as a country, we've got to look at our citizens first and be able to make conditions favorable for the youth of this country to develop. This is what the challenge is today. If as they sign at KICC, they do not come up with a formula to say we are going to compensate for the lives of the young Kenyans who are killed during constitutionally valid, constitutionally enabled demonstrations in 2024 and in 2023, because we lost close to 100 young Kenyans. If there is no formula out of KICC today showing Kenyans how they are going to compensate the families and the loss of lives because of police brutality, then as my brother said, nothing will come out of KICC other than betrayal of the Kenyan country. Hear me, fellow Kenyans, hear me. We are talking about the People's Loyal Coalition because we'll be guided by the values under Article 10 of Constitution 2010. The only true legacy that is holding us together, and I was honored to have been sworn at this place as Kibaki's vice president twice. Although they have changed the character of Uhuru Park, they cannot change the history of Uhuru Park. This is a place of freedom. This is where Kenyans talk freedom. This is a place where Kenyans choose to liberate themselves. Therefore today, as I speak to you, I want to tell you that we are on the side of the Kenyan people. We will never betray the Kenyan people. We are old enough to know temporary comfort will take you nowhere. What we want is comfort for all Kenyans. Now we have said, I once was Minister of Education, And we actually put in place higher education zones board. And we are saying that because the courts in their wisdom have found the new funding model to be unconstitutional, we are telling William Ruto and his team to immediately revert so that every Kenyan student will be able to access higher education. Not only higher education, accepting it, but also making sure that it is quality. Students still cook in their hostel. Students do not have the kind of life that you expect a university student to lead. Even their so-called affordable housing, if they were serious about it, they would have said, we will put over 20,000 housing units in our public universities. But instead, they are putting it wherever their friends are, because it's a cartel. We have said it and we shall continue to say it. Executive order number 1, do away with housing levy, because it's a step. It's a step. Okay. Executive order number 1, if we get rid of corruption in our country, I want you to know the kind of thieving, the stealing of our public, and I'm happy to see one angel against corruption. I'll tell you, we have to be systematic, we have to be decisive. As Mukunja said, when it became difficult, he went hiding. But I want to tell you, we will not just talk about eradicate corruption. We are going to have to do something proactive. And we will start with June 25. I call it J25. That day young Kenyans breached Parliament. For me, therefore, the legality of the Kenyan 13th Parliament is always in question. Never mind, we are now going to have in place as soon as possible an IBC which you believe will be competent. We want to challenge the panel as I look at who is going to be the next chair of IBC, who is going to be the commissioner for IBC. They must come up with men and women of integrity. We are tired of people who end up being chairman and then when they die in infamy. In infamy. Therefore, this is the time. This country cannot afford another stealing during a general election. It will not happen. This is why today I'm dressed like a general. I will go out. I'll go out to make sure nobody will steal. Wangapa tu wanaungana na sisi kuokoa Kenya. We are saying round hii is not going to be election as usual. Round hii ni Wakenya kujikomboa. Wangapi wako tayari kujikomboa jamani?